Hi, it's Thomas from Purpose Driven Tribe here. Today I have a very special guest for you. Actually, I'm in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, right now, and I'm sitting here with my friend Selina. And I've chosen this interview for one simple reason. We have received a lot of questions how to become empowered to be able to execute your own vision. You have an idea, you have a vision, you want to be purpose-driven, yet you don't know how to get fully empowered. Believe me, Selina is one of the most empowered, self-empowered women I've ever met. To Selina, nothing is impossible. She's an extremely successful woman. She runs a lot of businesses. She does all the crazy things you can think about. She's got 3 kids, and still, when you ask her about her time, she always tell you that she's got all the time
in the world.
How amazing is that? So, Selina, welcome to Purpose Driven Tribe.
Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to be here.
We're so thrilled and so curious to hear what you have to tell us. First of all, could you just share a little bit of your story, what you do, and how you became so self-empowered and so successful?
Oh my goodness. First of all, I have to concise all this information about myself, and usually I become so lazy, right, when it comes to telling about myself that I would, when people ask me, tell me more about your background, I will always say, Google me.
Okay.
So, well, for the purposes of this interview, I'm pleased to say that I am of a mixed heritage. My mother's Chinese, my father's Malay. I am 48 years old. My children are ages 20, 17 and 13. I'm a single mother, hint. And I own a very established boutique-sized PR agency here in Kuala Lumpur. That's how, that was my first business. And I developed another business managing celebrities, managing events. From there, I moved on to more corporate work, and I sit on the board of 2 public companies. TSH Resources Berhad, which is one of the biggest plantation companies in Malaysia, as well as Ecowood International Berhad, the most premium natural wooden flooring available in the region. I also last year started this place which is where we are seated right now for the interview. It's a lifestyle studio which houses my own fashion label called Romida KL, of which I'm in partnership with Malaysia's top singing sensation Ning Baizura. You can Google that as well. She's huge. And over here in this studio, we provide interior decorating services, styling for your home, apart from selling clothes. So you can say that I wear many hats. Oh yes, I forgot, because that business I recently sort of like let go of because there was just too many things I wanted to do. I also own an aesthetic clinic.
So you see, it's a lot of businesses, a lot of stuff, I told you. And it's just one woman. You see one woman and she can manage all this, her family, her 3 kids. And that's something that Selina, she shared this with me just recently. That's something she's ready to share with the world. How anybody can get so empowered, so self-empowered that basically is capable of anything. And so Selina, this is your motto, this is your life drive. I can grow constantly. I can do anything.
I can do anything.
I can do anything. How did you find this? You know, a lot of people, they have self-doubts. They don't know if they can do this or that, if they're allowed to do this. That's not your case. You know fully that you are so self-empowered, you can do anything. And yet, I bet you have to find this power in yourself as anybody else. You didn't just one day came to this world being with this power in you. You had to find it. You had to develop it. How did you do that?
Oh, that's a very good question actually, because when I was younger, and I got married really young at 24, I was very reliant on my stable job, the work that I do as an employee, and I was married to a very successful lawyer. So it was very, very easy for me. But when my marriage fell apart, when I was not 40, I divorced at 40. When my marriage started to fall apart, and I had 3 children to care for, I realized that I only had myself to depend on. And I actually went for this life coaching session called Asia Works. I went there and they taught me a lot of things about how to remove limitations, how to be aware that we are pure potential. I think I told you that. Because we are pure potential, there's limitless amount of things that we can do as long as we put that seed in our head.
There's no limit. We can do anything.
Anything. I mean, like my background, I started working in this company doing corporate finance, right? And from there, I moved into public relations. From public relations, then I moved into doing advertising stuff, because I was working for a very big advertising agency called Leo Burnett.
Okay.
So it just sort of like gathered. I just realized that hey, I'm quite incidental in a lot of things. Like I can wear many hats, and I started to realize that if you just believe that this is something that you want to do, and you have so much. It's a leap of faith. If you have so much faith that this will take off, it will take off. Wow. There is no room for failure.
Wow, this is so powerful. I can feel the chill. No room for failure.
No room for failure.
You can achieve anything. Well, let me stop here and let's talk about the Billy. Because when I talk to people who have their visions and they want to really start and ignite and build purpose-driven business, they have this fire and this belief at the very beginning, but then they start meeting the first obstacles, and so in a certain point it looks harder and harder and harder, and they start self-doubting themselves. They start thinking, am I really ready to do this? Am I supposed to do this? Which doesn't seem to be your case. You never doubt your decisions.
Never.
How do you cope with difficult situations? How do you cope with obstacles? Because you must quite often meet obstacles and difficult situations. How do you deal with that? How don't you lose faith, and how can you keep walking despite any circumstances?
Because I believe that life works for me.
Wow.
I believe that everything has a way of working itself out. There are no accidents. So I just trust life.
Wow.
It's just trusting life. I trust that life always has my back.
Wow.
Yeah. So I always feel that there is always magnificence in every tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you see as a tragedy, or everything that you see is an obstacle, is always an opportunity for you to grow. Because there's a famous saying as well, at the top of the mountain, the view is beautiful. At the top of the mountain, you see snow, you see a beautiful view, you see everything at the bottom, it's so beautiful. But it is at the bottom of the hill that the grass grows.
Mm.
So the message here is that the grass grows at the bottom. In your hardship is where you start growing.